What up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Early notification gang. Welcome to the Kingdom. What's up, everybody? So there is some good news. I don't know for sure if we're going to see arrests, but I'd like to see arrests. I'd love to see it. That would be great. Grand jury subpoena for Walz, Ellison, Frey, a whole bunch of them. So, I mean, that's a good step. I mean, if it was up to me, they'd all already be fucking arrested. But, you know, Bondi's on the case, guys. You know, when Bondi's on the case, we're always going to get really good results. Bondi is a serial blue baller. I think giving people blue balls should be a crime. It's serious bodily injury. And I feel like Bondi is one of these ladies who's probably given many a man a case of the blue balls. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Early notification gang. What's up? You guys are here early. It's nice to see you. What's up? We got Mississippi Princess. Well, what's up, Mississippi Princess? How you doing? Michael, we got some new names in here. We got some early newbies. Michael Singletary, what's up? Cheetah Main, how's it going, brother? JCD, what's up? How's everybody? K-Mac, how's everybody doing in the chat? So, I mean, the talk is good, you know? The same old talk, like always. Oh, we're going to see arrests. We're going to arrest. It could be arrest any moment now. I'm really hoping it's not just talk this time. Because we gotta make an example. It's like with the border, you know, when they know that they can cross and they'll just be let in and there's no repercussions, like millions of people are going to cross the border. It's the same thing with this shit. If we don't set an example to all these fucking revolutionary LARPers trying to start their little commie revolution, these little Mad Maxers in their car, if we don't start making an example out of these people, specifically the people at the head of this, the politicians like Walz, Frey, and many, many others, and just lock them up. I mean, yeah, I don't care. Let's throw them in Guantanamo Bay. I'm down. Let's throw them in Guantanamo Bay. Here's a little report. I think Bondi talks a little bit. I mean, look, once Bondi's involved, my hope levels go way down. That's like, she's still here? What is she doing here? How has she not been fired yet? What's going on here?
Correspondent David Spunt has an exclusive report from Minneapolis.
What's up, everybody? Smash the thumbs up. Smash the thumbs up.
Brett, good evening to you. We know that federal subpoenas were delivered to the offices of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, State Attorney General Keith Ellison, and 3 other local officials. We spoke exclusively with Attorney General Pam Bondi within the last 90 minutes.
Whether it's a public official, whether it's a law enforcement officer, no.
And she got Klingon nose, don't she? That's fucking Klingon nose, bro. I thought she was kind of attractive until I saw this fucking Klingon nose, dude. All right, Bondi, you start arresting people, I'll forgive you, and I won't point out your Klingon nose anymore, okay?
No one is above the law in this state or in this country, and people will be held accountable.
Is that Klingon nose? It looks like Klingon nose to me.
This state is a mess right now. We've seen the chaos, and it's constant, and our men and women in law enforcement deserve to be safe, and that's what we're going to do in Minnesota.
I can't stop looking at that Klingon nose. That's a bad angle. She needs to be like real specific about the angles, because that's not a good. It's not a good angle. Klingon nose.
The Attorney General landed in Minnesota just a few hours ago, Brett. Her first time here on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure it's a Klingon nose. Let me look. I'm sorry to sidetrack you guys, but sometimes we do things like this. Klingon nose. Yeah, that's a Klingon nose. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's the best I could come up with. It's a Klingon
Since chaos
nose.
erupted following the shootings of Renee Good earlier this month. We reported last week both Mayor Frey and Governor Walz are under criminal investigation by the Justice Department for allegedly interfering with federal
Romulan,
law
maybe? You're right.
enforcement.
Maybe Romulan.
Bondi said in general terms, about the rhetoric from the elected officials criticizing that. Governor Walz, in a statement today, said the Justice Department investigation sparked by calls for accountability in the face of violence, chaos, and the killing of Renee Good does not seek justice. It is a partisan distraction. The mayor says when the federal government weaponizes its power to intimidate local leaders for doing their jobs, every American should be concerned. Now to the protest, Brett, in that St. Paul church a couple of days ago on Sunday. DOJ officials say a federal crime may have been committed.
No, not May, dude. What the fuck are you talking about, May? The FACE Act was absolutely broken, dude. It's in your face, bro. What do you mean May? There was no May there. It's obvious.
The FACE Act protects access to abortion clinics and houses of worship. Here's the AG on that.
I spoke to Pastor Parnell. I'm going to be meeting with him shortly, and that should not happen to any Christian, to any religion, to a synagogue, to a mosque, to any place of worship in our country.
In our interview, the Attorney General made mention that several high-profile prosecutors quit the U.S. Attorney's Office here in Minneapolis recently, but she said that does not deter the mission and says stay tuned. There is more action on the ground when it comes to the Justice Department here in Minneapolis with what's going on. Brett.
David Spunt live in the Twin Cities. David, thanks.
They better fucking go to jail, dude. Okay? First of all, you have everything you need to initiate the fucking Insurrection Act. Everything's there. You have elected officials not enforcing federal law, actively fighting against federal law. You have citizens that are going around like they can't like live a normal life right now because you have crazy fucking people. Like, I feel bad for the citizens of Minnesota who are not the crazy ones, who are just trying to live their life and go to church on a Sunday with their kids, or walk down the street with an American fucking jacket and not get harassed by a mob of communists. Yeah, we need to sign tomorrow morning. We need to sign the Insurrection Act, and we need these people to be raided and locked up. And every single one of these people who have been hindering, obstructing, interfering with ICE's operations as they're trying to deport literal fucking pedophiles off of your streets, everyone that we have evidence of, they need to be raided as well and brought to justice and hit with the book. And examples need to be made. I don't know why we don't do it. I mean, it's like, it seems like Trump always just kind of is so slow to make a move about things that are just so obvious moves to make. Like, oh, this is an obvious move to make. Let's do it. Oh, okay. He'll say he'll do it, and then months later, nothing happens. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I want to see people go to jail. What about you guys? Should people go to jail? I mean, it's such an open end. Should people go to, of course people should go to jail. But should these fucking crook Democrats, these insurrectionists, these fucking sanctuary city having fucking pieces of garbage, should they be arrested? Yes is the answer. And if you don't think so, then you don't believe in law and order. You don't believe in law and order. You don't want the law to be enforced. That's not good. That's not good. Because what happens when we don't have law and order? Oh, we're seeing it in Minnesota. Mobs can just take to the street and just take over. Whoever's got the biggest mob is in charge, and that's it. You know, next thing you know, some fucking African named Boombu Jabba is running your block and fucking raping your women. You know, we'll turn into Africa in like 2 seconds. You know, they'll maybe give you a little rice as they take all the rations and fucking just leave you starving with your family. What happens? It breaks down into like fucking tribal warfare bullshit, dude. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want Jabba Baba Maba running my block. Okay? Okay, I don't want some warlord fucking making the rules for me because we don't have law and order, dude. You know? What do you guys think? Redog, what's up? This is going to be a slow episode because I'm tired as fuck today. I got very little rest. But I said I'd be here, so I'm here. So I'm going to fucking half asleep, work my way through this shit. And it's a slow news day, so we're going to do a lot of... I'm going to do a lot of chatting with the chat today, guys. If you want to send a super chat, you want to support the show, links are in the description. You can also join the Discord if you want to hang out in the Discord. Get ready for the meltdowns. Minnesota just had shockwaves sent through the Democrat ruling class. Tim Walz, Jacob Frey, Keith Ellison are just a few of the Democrats in Minnesota who have been subpoenaed by the FBI. I don't know if, subpoena sounds nice and all, but you should have just arrested them. You should be interrogating them right now. They should be in a fucking interrogation room. You know, maybe some enhanced interrogation techniques, you know, a little waterboarding. You know, get them to flip. Get them to see the right side. Get them to flip on their fellow commies and their little revolutionary plot against the federal government.
People. Jonathan?
And John, before we get to that, I want to get to the breaking news we have just heard. The FBI has apparently just served subpoenas to several officials here in Minneapolis, including members of the office of Governor Tim Walz. We will bring you more information as we get it on those subpoenas. Meantime, the number of protesters out here at the federal building is diminishing every day, it seems. But the war of words between local officials and the Trump administration is.
I know that's like seems like a victory, like like they're not even willing to protest. It's so cold, dude. So, you know, God's been on our side this winter. I think God making it as cold as he has this winter has saved the people of Minneapolis another summer of love. But yeah, I think it's more to do with cold weather because these people are deranged as ever. But I don't know, maybe there are people waking up. I know that the church thing. We'll talk more about that in Don Lemon later, but the whole storming into a church and disrupting a citizen's ability to fucking freely worship, like, I think that might have turned a lot of people off. I don't know. If it didn't, then I don't know. You're stupid. Oh, but Jesus did the same thing. He turned over the tables at a church. Yeah, I'm sure there's been a bunch of terrible people who have done the same thing as well. I mean, I remember hearing of a priest that was like some guerrillas in like South America or whatever just went in there and shot him as he was doing mass because he was talking bad about the guerrillas. And yeah, it's like there's plenty instances where that sort of shit is done by some of the worst fucking regimes ever. Okay. But Jesus flipped over some tables one time. Don't you know Jesus flipped over tables? So we can go into your church and flip over tables and we're just like Jesus. No, we have a face act. Okay. And I don't care if Jesus Christ himself walks into my church and starts flipping over tables. He violated the Face Act. And Jesus can go spend some time in jail. Okay? God bless Jesus. It's just stupid, bro. It's just stupid. Oh, this one's not done.
It's only getting stronger. The latest flashpoint, as you mentioned, that protest at a St. Paul church on Sunday, during which several dozen protesters disrupted the service, screaming at members of the congregation and screaming anti-ICE slogans.
Yeah, the Nate the Lawyer video, is it pretty good, Susano? I saw it in my feed, but I didn't watch it. I imagine Nate the Lawyer, I mean, he's going to break it down fairly. He's not going to be, grifting to the left. So yeah, maybe we could pull that up. Is it worth watching? Maybe I could pull that one up.
In the meantime, the president himself is urging DHS to make a lot more of the number of criminals that are being arrested during Operation Metro Surge. The president saying on Truth Social, quote, show the numbers, names and faces of the violent criminals and show them now. The people will start supporting the patriots of ICE instead of the highly paid troublemakers, anarchists and agitators. Congresswoman
If only that's true. I mean, we've been doing this for a while. It's been out there. Like, the people that are getting arrested are like pretty bad fucking hombres, you know? They're not good people. And first of all, I have no problem if you came into this country illegally and that's the only crime you committed. I have no problem if you get deported. I'm sorry. Oh, you're deported. No, they already did. You actually did break the law. You actually are a criminal. You invaded a fucking country illegally. I would be in so much trouble if I did the same thing. If I just snuck into Canada, they would deport me the fuck out of there real quick. And every other country in the world. But for some reason, we're not allowed to have basic border laws like every other country. I wonder why. You know, the funniest thing is, you know, communism and like open borders aren't really a match, right? They don't fit together very well. Your communism's gonna fail if you just let anybody in the world come in and get access to your communism. Like, you can't afford that. All right. I mean, maybe some of these commies are stupid, but a lot of these commies know this. So they're just grifting off of this to try to like rile up the population. Meanwhile, if the communists got in charge, we'd have the strictest fucking border fucking law ever, and it would be enforced probably way more harshly than it is now. So these people are so full of shit. It's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous.
Ilhan Omar said on X, quote, "Stop terrorizing people with your fake PR about criminals in Minneapolis, because the only people on the streets of Minneapolis you are arresting are law-abiding citizens." And local law enforcement officials held a press
if they're not in the country illegally, that's not law-abiding. That's unlawful. Okay? Well, we'll just ignore that, right? Because that fucks your whole point up.
conference a short time ago in which they accused what they said was a small group of federal agents of merely stopping people through racial profiling. Listen here.
If American citizens are being...
Oh, you cut it off there? Why cut it off there? Yeah, that's the whole thing. Oh, they're targeting brown people. Okay, well, the reality is most of the immigrants that came in illegally came from, Latin America. And they happen to be brown. So, it's unfortunate, but yeah. If the overwhelming majority of people that did something illegally are of a certain race, then it's not racist to be more suspicious of people of that race, especially when they don't speak English. Okay? Have a Hispanic dude that speaks perfect English, has no accent, is clearly been raised in America, and all of a sudden the suspicious level goes down with ICE. But you have a Guatemalan man who looks like a Guatemalan man who doesn't speak any English. Well, there's reasonable suspicion there that he might actually not be here legally, and that's not racist. That's just common sense policing, dude. But yeah, everything's racism. Everything is racism. Minnesota Dems have fucked around for the last time with the whole of government response to city's church being invaded. You can tell arrests are coming. Well, Gunther Eagleman, I hope you're fucking right, brother.
The Border Czar Tom Homan joins us tonight. Sir, good to have you back on. No question in my mind, these protesters violated the FACE Act. If we're going to throw old ladies in prison for years for praying and singing at abortion clinics, I think these people...
There's a video of it too. The people that got arrested. It's like the most peaceful Christian thing ever. They're sitting down singing like beautiful Christian hymns, and they go to jail. Because, you can't attack our fucking religious abortions. I mean, like, abortion is like a religion to them. It's crazy. But I'm sort of glad they made this rule now, and they made this law. And I think to make it seem fair, they threw churches in there. And that's really coming back to bite them in the ass now. But yeah, let's get them. Lock them up, boys.
Belong in prison as well. What are your thoughts?
Well, you're absolutely correct, and the DOJ needs to take this.
Hey, yeah, remember this guy, the guy who got a fucking medal from Obama? That's the craziest part of all of this, dude. This was the border czar under Obama. He deported more people under Obama, and everybody loved him. Obama gave him a medal. And then Trump brings him on, and now, he's a Nazi now. Yesterday, Obama's giving him a medal. He's great. Today, he works for Trump. Nazi. Oh, he's a fucking Nazi. Same dude, same job.
Seriously. What's really telling is, since January, the whole past year, the left has accused ICE of raiding hospitals, or raiding elementary schools, and raiding churches. And they can't, there's been no incident where we ever raided an elementary school, a hospital, or a church.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Tom, but they tend to lie a lot, bro.
At Freeman 3 super chatted $10. The book The Time Machine by H.G. Wells should be considered along with 1984 and the like. As regular people are the troglodytes and the elite live above.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good suggestion, everybody. The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I've never read it, but that sounds like something I would like to read, bro. Thank you, Freeman. Thank you for the 10, brother. Hope you're doing good tonight.
Well, look who is raiding a church.
Good suggestion.
Them. So it's very telling that they would accuse us of this and they're actually ones doing it. Don Lemon, look, his career went down the tubes. He's trying to be relevant. it's really quite pathetic, you know, how he's trying to be relevant and he's not. He's a joke.
Yeah, and I think he committed a crime trying to stay viable and stay relevant in his industry of podcasting. I think it's quite clear. You can't march into a church and start screaming and antagonizing and terrorizing.
Do we have to arrest Don Lemon? And when we do, he needs to be full-on perp walked. He needs to get the Maduro-style perp walk treatment. Please, if there's not a satisfactory perp walk with Don Lemon, it's not going to be worth it. You got to give him the full-on fucking perp walk, like Lee Harvey Oswald fucking Maduro treatment. We need the full perp walk for Don.
Terrorizing people and calling them not Christian because they don't support a borderless, lawless society. You can't do that. There's a very clear law against it, and
look,
it's faithfully enforced, by the way.
Yeah, and this whole language about the nationalists, the white this. I can tell you for a fact that I was contacted by 9 black pastors in Chicago, begging us to come to Chicago.
Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of like the black community who in 2020 really did support Democrats, and Democrats grifted so hard to them over George Floyd. But then the Democrats kind of pivoted to supporting illegals and kind of left the black people behind. So there's a lot of black people that feel disenfranchised by the Democratic Party and kind of misled, because it's like they got their support and then they forgot about them and just moved on to the illegal immigrants, the next population they're going to grift to.
Fine.
They need these illegals. They cannot afford for us to go into these fucking Democrat-run cities and get rid of all of these illegals. They will not win elections. Okay? Who are they going to how are they going to steal hundreds of millions of dollars of fraud from the American taxpayer without these illegals, you know? They need them. They can't give them up.
So, you know, the black community supports ICE too, because they realize we're nation laws. Illegal aliens take a lot of services that they're not eligible for, and it hurts the black community. They take away jobs. They take away services. Yeah. So many leaders of the black community support ICE and what we're doing.
Yeah, I think most people actually do. I just think that all of this noise is being manufactured to make people believe that.
And I'm seeing women starting to come out. Even Davey's got Davey Jackson, my boy. He's got the most based fucking chick right now. I'm so happy for him. He's with this like super red-pilled base chick. Like when I first met Davey, he didn't even know what meritocracy was. You know, I'd explain to him because he dated too many dumb broads who like kind of polluted his mind with woke bullshit, and he didn't have a basic understanding of meritocracy and how like this country is founded on it. You know what I mean? Meritocracy, the idea that, you know, what you bring to the table is what you get back. You know, if I'm good at something, I'm going to have an opportunity to do that thing and not be pushed to the side because I'm not the son of some fucking royal and I'm some peasant or whatever. And he met this base chick who's like the most base chick I've ever seen. And I told Davey, you should marry this chick immediately. Like, you should marry her right now. She's going to set you straight. It's so great. But even she might be done with women voting in the election. Look, I'm not saying women shouldn't vote, but I am saying that it would solve a lot of problems in this country. And a lot of the fucking based women are starting to even realize that. They're like, you know what? I think I'd give up my vote just so these crazy women can't vote anymore. And that is the most patriotic take a woman could have, in my opinion, at this point in time.
That there's broad outrage against just basic immigration laws in this country, and that's not the case. And that's what is so dangerous and so brilliant about what they're doing, is that it is impactful, that it is working. It's working to turn the needle against, you know, having immigration law in this country, which is what I think they really want. They want to destabilize the country, and this is a great way to do it. That's the brilliance of this plan. Last week, I want to ask you this question. Axios claimed that the president doesn't like some of the optics of these ICE operations. Is there any truth to that?
No, you know, like I met with the president this morning, just before the press conference. I knew it would be one hell of a press conference because he was all fired up. Look, the president is keeping his...
Nugs4424 super chatted $5. Ping Trip Podcast. Live stream is better than Beanie Baby IRL.
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. I caught a little bit of yesterday's with Nick Fuentes because I didn't get to watch it before I went live. But after I went live, I watched it. And I mean, it was entertaining. You know, I liked him. I'm not a Tim hater, but I do think I'm better. I'm probably the best live caster on the planet, guys. You know, I deserve an award. That's for sure.
Promised the American
Thank you,
people
Nugs. You're the best, brother.
To run the biggest deportation operation in the history of this nation. We already have record numbers. We already broke every year's record in the past. And look, what the media's not telling you, I know you guys are supporting it. The facts are 70% of everybody arrested is a criminal, either got criminal convictions or pending criminal charges. That's a higher percentage than it was during any other administration, including the Obama administration.
And then the other 30% illegally crossed our border. In their first act coming into the country was to break our laws. But I guess we ignore that criminal offense, right?
So we're going to continue doing what we're doing. As far as the protests of these agitators and these crazy people on the left, what have they achieved? They've achieved nothing because ISIS, they achieved one thing.
What did he lie about, CWG? What did I miss?
We're doubling resources in Minnesota. So that's what they achieved, but we're not going to stop doing what we're doing. We're going to be out there tonight. We're going to be out there tomorrow. We're going to be out there every day, taking them bad people off the street. We are not going to stop what we're doing.
The Attorney General in Minnesota, Keith Ellison, who should be under investigation for a couple different reasons, is making it very clear that they are going to go after your agents. Take a listen to this.
I just want to be clear. The state has every right to investigate this matter and prosecute this matter. The state has every right.
What's your reaction to that?
Whatever. I mean, these people, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Federal law is always going to trump state law. So look, we're going to stop doing what we're doing. I tell you, now they want their police officers to arrest ICE.
Yeah.
Look, impeding ICE.
Oh, yeah. You're right. CWG says he lied about that he's breaking the record for deportations. Yeah, he's way behind Obama, isn't he still? I mean, Obama didn't have the amount of pushback that Trump's getting, right? Obama was allowed to do his job without being called a Nazi and without ICE being harassed and stalked in the streets by a bunch of deranged, middle-aged, hairy armpit bitches, you know? So that does help.
Officers interfering with ICE officers, it's a felony. And whether you got a badge or not, it's a felony. So look, I wish they would work with us. How can Minnesota fix this? Work with us. Let us in the jail to arrest the public safety threat and the safety and security of a jail. Safer for the agent, safer for the alien, safer for the community.
I mean, see right there, that to me is enough. Like, you arrest somebody on a sexual offense, right? Okay, somebody was doing something to a child, yada, 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 yada. And then you find out that person has a deportation order. And you do not immediately hand that person over to immigration to be deported. And on top of that, you let that dude back into the streets of your city. And you're telling me these people shouldn't be arrested. Really? They should fucking be arrested, bro. That is disgusting. It's not obeying the law. You're basically harboring a fucking sexual predator in your city, putting your own citizens in danger. Yeah, it's jail time if you're doing that.
And
more agents in the jail means less agents in the community.
Yeah.
We're not going to totally leave Minnesota regardless, but more agents in the jail means less agents in the community. And one agent can arrest one public safety threat in the jail, but we got to go community, we got to send the whole team. So we're increasing resources because they're forcing us into that dangerous situation.
They're making it even worse. I have one more thing to show you here. It's 2015. Barack Obama awarded you the Presidential Rank Award for...
Yeah, that's a good point. Motherfucking Damien, I don't know, MFN Damien. I've heard this too. Apparently Obama's numbers were so much higher because people caught and turned away at the border were counted as deportations. So that number also, you know, the huge deportation number that is credited to Obama also includes people that were merely just turned around at the border and said, no, you can't come in. So, yeah. Are we counting that with Trump too, or what? I mean, we should definitely count those with Trump as well.
Distinguished Service, highest civil service honor for your leadership in ICE's enforcement and removal operations. That's a picture of you about 10 years ago. You're called a fascist now for doing a job that Barack Obama gave.
That word has no fucking meaning anymore, just like racist and sexist and fucking homophobic. They have no meaning anymore.
Gave you an award for. Doesn't that tell the whole story?
It absolutely does. I got that award because we had a record number of deportations, 409,000, a record, and we've since broken that record since Trump's been in office. But yeah, I was awarded that for my efficiency on deporting illegal aliens. I mean, the first line of the Washington Post article is Tom Homan deports people. Was really good at it. Now I'm a Nazi, I'm a racist, and I'm just a terrible guy. But yeah. I don't care what people are thinking about me. I want to keep deporting people.
The saying that, like, if Trump cured cancer, it sounds ridiculous, right? But if Trump cured cancer, the left would be pro-cancer. It's just so fucking true, dude. This is what's so frustrating about it, is that, like, these people have no credibility. Everything is just hysteria over Trump for political gain. And again, people are falling for it. It's like, dude, you've seen this movie before. This is fucking part 5 of the fucking 8-piece fucking series. And you are still falling for it. You still haven't figured out the fucking the plot and how things are going to always lead to the same fucking conclusion every time. Like it's played out at this point, man.
I didn't know Obama was a fascist Nazi. I had never heard that. So it's an interesting development we just figured out here on today's show. The borders are Tom Homan. Sir, good to have you on. Thanks so much. The borders are.
No, if he was a Republican, he would be a Nazi. That's how it works. That's how it works. If you're a Democrat, you're not a Nazi. If you're a Republican, you're a Nazi. Secretary Noam, one of the things we've asked Governor Walz for and Mayor Frey is to give us the criminals you have in jail. Yep. This is a big issue, and this would make life easier for the city, for the people of the city, the citizens of these cities. But they refuse to hold them, to detain them when ICE says, "Hey, hold them for us. We're going to come get them." They've released 490 murderers and rapists and drug traffickers onto their streets, rather than just give them to us, and that's what I don't understand. Yeah. It's almost like they want to destroy their own cities. Weird, right?
We have a national targeting center that identifies those who've committed crimes. So they've done something in this country or in their home country that has been criminal charges against them, or they've been convicted. Many times these individuals are in jails or prisons in some of our states already that we just want those local law enforcement officers to turn over to us. For example, one of the things we've asked Governor Walz for and Mayor Frey is
arrest them. Both of them.
To give us just the criminals you have in jail. They've released 490 murderers and rapists and drug traffickers onto their streets rather than just give them to us. And that's what I don't understand.
Well, you know, some of them, though, have multiple names.
Yes.
It was a big problem. And if you come in illegally, you don't necessarily have a Social Security card, you don't have a passport, there's no database back in your home country because it's a country we're not friendly with.
Yeah, or they've lied on their paperwork to come in, and then they've overstayed and not shown up for their immigration court hearings. They've been notified, and then they've run into DUIs, other incidences. So what we're doing is targeting those who have committed criminal acts. But if we show up and we're going after a TDA member in an apartment, and they're in an apartment with 12 other people, we're going to ask those other people who they are, what their identity is, just like we would any other law enforcement operation. I think that's what people don't know, is that we're doing the same thing that law enforcement has done for years under this administration, the Biden administration, all of them. We haven't changed what we do in these types of situations. We ask everyone there who they are and why they're affiliated and surrounded by these criminals.
I think what's changed is that we're actually not letting the sanctuary cities like just do their thing. So I don't know, like did ICE under Biden, did ICE go into cities like Minneapolis, who are sanctuary cities, who actually hide their illegal population and don't give them up? Were they going in there and doing raids then? I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question. I should find the answer. I'm sure they were doing something. The chaos in Minnesota could come to an end right now if Governor Tim Walz and Mayor Jacob Frey would simply comply with federal officials and federal law. By the way, it is law. Like, they keep saying that Trump's Gestapo is not acting lawfully. It's like, no, they actually are. They are acting lawfully. They're following the law. It is your fucking sanctuary cities who have decided that you guys are above the law, and immigration law doesn't apply to you because you've just decided it doesn't. Who's following the law? Obviously not the sanctuary cities.
Yeah, you know, this could all come to an end right now if Tim Walz and Jacob Frey would simply cooperate. In cities and states across this country, you have local officials, local law enforcement, local political leaders who are simply cooperating with the federal government, with DHS, and with ICE. What does that mean? It means you get to go into the jails and you get to take custody of illegal aliens in an administrative way, in the hallway, as opposed to having to send ICE agents into a community and chase them down because the local politicians in Minnesota have let them out into the street. This can all end.
And will now start a civil war. They'll start a whole civil war to protect them. Crazy.
Today, if the Democrats in Minnesota, you're not seeing this chaos anywhere else. The ingredients that are causing the chaos are unique to Minnesota. It's called Walz and Frey. Cooperate
that's
in this
silly.
end.
Can like
The government has privately and publicly every day of this begged for cooperation from the state officials in Minnesota. They beg every single day.
If they've done that, Scott, then why aren't they telling the American people that they've done that? Why are they
literally do it on there.
What are you talking about? Why aren't they? What are you fucking retarded?
Wait a minute.
What am I at? What am I saying? Of course she's retarded.
Public statements every day.
All ICE and federal law enforcement are trying to do are remove people like this off of the streets of Governor Walz's city in Minneapolis and of his state in Minnesota.
Oh, but you're a Nazi. Hey, but this white supremacy. They just ignore the key points. Like, you know, you're hitting a key point when they completely ignore it and just start attacking like everything about you. It's like, oh, you're fat. Oh, you're a racist. Oh, you're this, you're that. You're a bootlicker. It's like, oh, but what about the point I just made about actual pedophiles that you're protecting? You're hiding the Epstein files.
Minnesota. If you look at some of the individuals in this photo, these are all illegal alien criminals who came into our country under the previous administration. This is some of the most disturbing crimes you will ever read about. And there's only a few reporters in this room who will actually talk about these individuals. This is all ICE is trying to do. They are trying to remove people like this from Governor Walz's state. And so, yes, he should pick up the phone and he should say that he will cooperate with this president and with the federal government in making Minnesota safer, because that's all President Trump and his administration want to do.
I don't think even if he wanted to, I don't think he could, because he, you know, is playing a dangerous game with this mob of fucking lunatics. And the thing about lunatic mobs, unruly, out of control mobs, is that they can easily turn on you. No matter how much they liked you at one point, the next thing they could be doing is fucking sitting outside Waltz's house, making his life miserable, and he knows that. They know that. They know the dangerous cat they've let out of the bag. Former Don Lemon fan absolutely rips him for his stunt at City's Church in Minnesota. Oh, man.
So Don Lemon...
Looks like you're losing the black population, Don. What happened?
And his gaslighting ass finally crossed the line. You know, it was irritating enough this smug, obnoxious jerk goes down the street with his little microphone and gaslights people he interviews with disinformation.
It's a tiny little microphone.
Calling himself an independent journalist. But he crossed the line now. This man and a mob of nuts purposely and willfully walked into a house of worship while people were worshiping, praying to God, listening to a message, engaged in their sacred traditions. A Christian church, mind you, and walked in there and disrupted it.
Right back.
And Don, don't you try to distance yourself from it, because, yeah, initially I was like, is he doing journalism? And then I saw the footage before you went in. You supported what was happening. You celebrated what was happening. You kissed that crazed activist professor on the cheek. She's a law professor, and she doesn't know about the FACE Act? Who the hell is she professing over? The FACE Act clearly states that you cannot disrupt a religious service because you're violating their rights. Don, you supported it. Don't sit there and act like you were distant from it. You were as much of a part of it as that activist in that group were. You were giddy about it. When I saw that part of that footage of your little cover your ass moment, that's what you were trying to do, cover your ass, right? You still cooked yourself. And then you went in there with that mob and gleefully started taunting people of faith.
I really don't think Don Lemon knew about the FACE Act, because he literally just destroyed himself. Like his own footage, his own commentary as he was in that church defending the protesters and being like, oh, this is what democracy looks like. We got to make people uncomfortable. And I don't think he had any idea about the FACE Act. Oh, man, he's going to learn.
Putting your
You're going to
microphone in
learn.
the face of pastors, disrupting their service, Don. You can't distance yourself from it. Bro, what happened to you, man? You used to be one of my favorites, man. I used to watch you back in 2013. I say, hey, this brother has some sense. Yeah, he's left of center, but he has some sense. Something happened to you, man.
No, look, I'm sorry. There was never any sense. What happened to you, my strong fellow Black American, is that you woke up to the bullshit that you probably weren't woken up to back in 2013. I don't know if Don Lemon's changed. I think what's changed is your realization of the grift, or of the Don Lemon leftist grift. It wasn't Don that changed, my friend. It was you. And God bless you for that.
Turned you into an obnoxious, disgusting, garbage human. A smug, disgusting, garbage human. A jerk. Don, with you and your mob, and you're not the ringleader, I'm an honest man. You were just following the leader, right? Would you and that mob go to a mosque and do that? Would you disrupt a mosque? Would you go do that at a Jewish
No, he would not.
synagogue?
Go on.
Well, nowadays you might. What the hell is wrong with you people? I don't understand the fervor and hatred that individuals like yourself have for the Christian faith. We're blessed to be in America where they're not killing us yet. Around this world, Christians are facing persecution in Africa and around this world.
Preach, brother.
But the anti-Christian sentiment exists today. The Christian has been made the bad guy for every single thing happening in the world today, which gives you and the band of idiots that walked in there the permission to go in there and disrespect their service the way you did. That was wrong and that was evil. And how dare you formulate your face? How dare you formulate your lips to say that you're a Christian? You're not a Christian, Don. Let's be real. You don't like Christians at all. You hate Christians who aren't willing to bow down and formulate their faith around your worldview.
The most disgusting thing, as a cope to Don Lemon's disgusting actions, he did the usual thing, which is just to call everybody in that church a white supremacist. It's like, okay, you already fucking ruined their church. You broke the law. You disrupted their First Amendment right to freely assemble and worship their God, Christ. But to top it all off, the cherry on the top is you had to call them all white supremacists as well. Don Lemon is the biggest race grifting piece of shit that there is out there. Al Sharpton levels of race grifting with Don Lemon.
Any Christian who doesn't, you hate them. And can somebody find a place in the Bible where it says ICE agents can't go to church? Somebody find me a scripture or a verse that says...
Oh, come on, you know they don't actually care about the Bible, bro.
Law enforcement officers who happen to work for ICE shouldn't be in church. Man, that's where everybody should be. Cops, sinners, people who are hurting, black people, white people. The church welcomes everybody. So who the hell are you and that mob to walk in that church and tell them that somebody who works for ICE shouldn't be there? It's a sickness with you, man. There's something wrong with you. There's something broken with you, Don.
This guy's cooking. I agree 100%. Don Lemon, you need to listen to this dude, but Don Lemon don't give a fuck. He's not going to listen to this dude. Let's do a poll. I want to see. Does Don Lemon need to go to jail? That's the poll. Please vote away. Please vote away as much as you want to your heart's content. What do we got next? Barack Obama. Yeah, so this is, again, I was talking about this earlier. Barack Obama's ICE chief gets an award for 920,000 removals. Donald Trump's ICE chief gets called a Nazi. It's the same person, Tom Homan. In 2012, Obama deported 409,000 people. In 2025, Trump deported 290,000 people. The difference is the mainstream media brainwashing.
Obama's ICE chief gets an award for 920,000 removals. Trump's ICE chief is called a Nazi. Same guy, Tom Homan, was in charge of it for Obama. Obama deported in 2012 409,000 people. Trump in 2025, 290. Wow. You got to do the math. It's so frustrating because, like you said, they've taken such an anti-Trump administration position that no matter what he does, even if it is in the name of good intentions, the problem is,
yeah, even if he's removing literal pedophiles off the fucking streets, Trump had.
Minnesota's a sanctuary state. So because they're a sanctuary state, they do not cooperate with ICE. They can arrest somebody for a violent crime, have them in jail, and they release them on the street. And so ICE is forced to go get these people in the streets. Obama's ICE.
So yeah, I mean, again, just more proof of the deranged fantasyland world that these people live in. And, you know, if you have eyes, please see. If you have ears, please hear. It's not hard to tell which side has lost their fucking minds on this specific subject. We could talk about other subjects. You know, the left, to me, marijuana legalization, they're right about that, even though they never seem to legalize it federally when they're in power, right? But when it comes to border enforcement, one side has the law behind them in reality and truth, and the other side is living in a fantasy land meant to rile up the population against their political enemies. And if you don't see that, you're not an honest actor. That's just the reality. Democrats are clearly panicked about America realizing the increasing danger posed by the radical left. They don't even want me to say it out loud. Okay, let's see what CNN has to say.
Yeah, I've been thinking about a couple of things. One, last summer, if I were sitting in a church right now in Minneapolis and a bunch of people burst in, I'd be on edge because last summer...
He's stealing my talking points. Now, I don't know, maybe he said this before I did, but you guys got to pay attention to how many people steal my talking points. And this is absolutely valid. Christians are in fear of crazy, deranged fucking gunmen going into their churches and murdering them. And then you do this to them. And at this time period, with this fear in the back of every Christian's mind while they're at church, like you're causing even more fucking terror than just, you know, a normal protest would cause by doing this to people at their church.
Shooter showed up at a Catholic church in Minneapolis and shot a bunch of kids. 2 died. I think 30 people were injured. 26 were kids. And so the terror in that church, I think, is probably warranted, if for no other reason than we've seen radical violence at a church in the not too distant past. We've also seen, I think, attempts to create violence and mayhem and fear in churches around the country, synagogues and other places. And so I feel like the radical left is...
Oh, are you going to cry? Are you going to cry? Look how healthy he looks compared to her. This is a man who sleeps well at night, and this is a bitch who is completely mentally deranged. I don't know, just my opinion.
Somewhat emboldened right now.
I'm not a doctor. But I don't think she sleeps well. I think she's lost her fucking mind, dude.
To go up to and now into places of worship. It sounds like the FACE Act is what they're going to use. I've also heard today from some sources that the Ku Klux Klan Act of 1871, they may look at that for bringing charges to Don Lemon and these radical leftists that went into this church. I think if they don't do something to these people who did this, you're going to see it proliferate in churches across the country, and that would be very regrettable.
You make a good point about the issue, but it isn't necessary to say the radical left did this.
Then who did this? The moderate fucking old school Democrats who don't even exist in your party anymore?
It's protesters.
I mean, think about it. All the moderate fucking old school Democrats, where are they now? In the Republican Party. Tulsi, RFK. I mean, fucking the guy from Pennsylvania, Fetterman, he's about to probably become a Republican too. All that's left is you fucking crazy radicals. And yes, this was the far left doing this. This is a bunch of fucking commies organizing this. And I'm sorry to tell you, you may not realize this, But Minnesota is filled to the brim with fucking commies. Keith Ellison, Antifa supporting commie. Tim Walz, Antifa supporting commie. Jacob Frey, Antifa supporting commie. Just because they don't come out and go, I'm a commie, guys, doesn't make them not commies, okay? They're very obviously commies.
Is it not necessary? You're making it political. It's legal. They how do you know? You know who was there? You went through the videos and looked at all the faces already?
I watched the videos, and I also looked at the list of people that they themselves published. It looks like the radical left to me. I mean,
you know all the people in Minnesota who are on the radical left.
I mean, they published a list of the black.
What does that mean? Oh, of course he doesn't know, but we can all fucking see what's going on. So I have to know every person in Minnesota for you stupid, deranged. Ah, look at her, dude. Look at those eyes, dude. Look how glassy those eyes are. Base Chad, fucking sleeps 8 to 10 hours a night. Deranged mental case fucking leftist, probably sleeps 2 to 3 hours a night, probably on all kinds of antidepressants, probably hates her life, her husband, her kids probably hate her and think she's a fucking retard. I know who I'd rather be.
Lives
They're
Matter
going to paint us
activists,
all as the same
Don, who I think we all know here is the radical left.
Don says he was there covering it.
Okay.
Don can speak for himself on this, but that's what he says he was
there.
there.
Yeah, I wouldn't speak for him.
I think
Scott Jennings is just cooking these guys every night. I don't know why they let him on this show. He's probably like red pilling more people than anybody else right now because he's on CNN. Laughing my fucking ass off, a dipshit reporter just learned a very hard lesson from Bovino. He has no patience for BS loaded questions meant to drive a narrative. So Bovino's out here holding press conferences now. I love it. I love it.
Commander Bovino, Oregon's North, the Daily Caller. Earlier today, Brooklyn Park police chief said that his department is receiving endless of calls from American citizens saying that their civil rights are being violated by federal agents. And the police chief also went on to say that some of his off-duty officers are also being asked for their immigration status, and one officer was boxing. That's according to the police chief. I just wondered if you had a response for the Brooklyn Park police chief.
Sure. Again, our Border Patrol agents, ICE officers, and those allied federal law enforcement agencies are out there conducting Title VIII immigration, the Title VIII immigration mission. And I'll tell you, when you have a mayor and a police chief, O'Hara, that say call 911 when ICE or Border Patrol's in the neighborhood.
Insurrection Act.
And then they wonder why the 911 system is overwhelmed with superfluous calls.
Yeah, and they have such a tiny police force in that area, dude. Like, if you were to track it, I looked up the numbers, like officers per 1,000 people, like they are like at the bottom of the barrel per like cops per citizen. It's fucking ridiculous. And then they're gonna waste the fucking police's time by having every citizen that spots an ICE vehicle just start harassing. How many people I bet you people have died. I bet you there are people who had a legitimate emergency, who needed to get to 911, but was put on hold or couldn't be gotten to because of hundreds of fucking callers calling because they saw an ICE vehicle kidnapping one of their neighbors, who just, by the way, is an illegal who fucking probably molested a kid. But yeah, let's ignore that part. They always ignore the true cost of this shit, dude. I'm sick of it, bro. I want law and order. Give me law and order. Give it to me now.
With superfluous calls for assistance when that is not true. So we're going to.
My suggestion for Bovino is you just need to use the word bucko a little more, okay? That would perfectly compliment the character that I love this guy. He's right out of the 50s, dude.
Continue to be out in the community, and we're going to continue to conduct that mission, that legal, lawful Title VIII mission. And, again, I've been out with my Border Patrol agents. Marcos is out constantly with his troops. And what I see out there is a very professional, prudent, and thoughtful law enforcement action. And if somebody needs to use the 911 system, then do it. But let's don't encourage anarchists to utilize a 911 system that hurts other Americans that may need to use that system.
It's almost like they hype up all this fear over Trump, right? Like, Trump's going to come in, he's going to bring the Gestapo, he's going to be Hitler. And then they're like, really get everybody thinking like, holy shit, everything's going to go to shit because of Trump. And then when it doesn't happen, they have to like create it themselves. They have to go out in the streets and fucking create the mayhem and create the image that they promised people it was going to be when Trump came in. But it's them creating it. It's them creating the fucking problems. Oh my God, it sucks under Trump. I can't even get 911 to come help me. Damn it, Trump. It's like, no, it's actually Tim Walz telling people. It's real. I do think that is part of their strategy. Like, make life as miserable as possible for your citizens so that you can go, Trump, and then you can point all that hatred and all for all that suffering they had to go through that was caused by you, and you can weaponize it politically against Trump because you got the media to just get everybody Trump deranged.
A law enforcement professional should know that.
Okay, bucko. We need more buckos from you, bro. You got to add bucko to your vocabulary. I like Bovino. He's bass. Ilhan Omar is under federal investigation for making millions of dollars while in Congress. Okay, look, please, no more blue balling. She needs to be arrested and deported back to Somalia tomorrow. Okay?
Fox News alert, Ilhan Omar under investigation after racking up millions while she was in Congress. Senior national correspondent Kevin Cork has it. What's up, Kevin?
Good to see you, my friend. What's the old saying? Follow the money? Well, that's precisely what the House Oversight Committee is doing. They are probing squad member Ilhan Omar's skyrocketing family wealth, Jesse, especially in the wake of that $9 billion.
He can make fraud seem so happy and cheerful. I like this guy. Shit, he could talk about your grandma dying and do it with a smile.
Would argue $19 billion Somali social services fraud scandal that exploded in her district in Minnesota. The oversight chair, James Comer, says his team's lawyers are exploring the extraordinary step of subpoenaing Omar's spouse over his curious business practices. Republicans want to know how the Somali-born Omar and her politically connected husband, Tim Minette, went from being nearly broke to being worth around $30 million in just a year, according.
Well, when you get control of where money goes, it's very easy to get some of that in your pocket. It's as simple as that. Okay, you have any decision over government contracts? Do you decide who gets a government contract? Can you run on a platform that we're gonna help the mom and pops out there be able to afford daycare? So we're gonna do subsidies for daycares. And all of a sudden now you're worth $30 million. It's very obvious how it happens, man. It's very fucking obvious. And we're not a serious country if we're gonna continue to allow this type of fraud to go on. We're not a serious country. We're a joke, and we deserve to fall and fell.
To her 2024 disclosure forms. Quoting Comer now, there are a lot of questions as to how her husband accumulated so much wealth over the past 2 years. It's not possible. It's not. And he's a money guy. Minette and his partner, Will Haler, back in 2022, formed an investment firm, Jesse, named Rose Lake Capital. They had $42 in their bank account at the time, but in a year, up to $25 million.
Jesus Christ, in 1 year, dude.
According to Omar's filing. By the way, he also has a wine business that went from next to nothing to millions on its books. Not surprisingly, associates were so perplexed about the irregularities, they brought information and attention to the feds to, look into it. Now, for her part, the Congresswoman has repeatedly, and I say defiantly, denied any wrongdoing while being also careful to criticize the ongoing probe. But, sometimes they say, Jesse, the ones who yell the loudest have the most to hide.
Well, innocent until proven.
I like that. I don't know who this guy is, but he's got spunk, bro.
Guilty.
I like his attitude.
Sure, everything was perfectly legal. We're just checking to find out. Kevin, good to see you.
He's so cheerful. I mean, he can make you feel good about being stolen from. Oh yeah, they just stole $30 million. Hey, I don't feel so bad about it now, man. You've cheered me up, bro. You've cheered me up. Hilarious. I don't know who that guy is, but I like him. Border Commander Greg Bovino is now confronting the fake news to their faces for ignoring the arrests of an illegal alien child predator. All right, you tell him, bucko.
A few individuals that I'd like to share with you. Individuals that were arrested since yesterday.
This guy's got David Lynch energy. I've just realized it. He's not full on David Lynch, but like he could be related to David Lynch. Okay,
3 individuals were arrested just since yesterday.
This is base David Lynch. That's who this is.
Keep in mind now, these individuals were walking the streets of Minneapolis with impunity as of yesterday. We've got Hovai Kumaye, a illegal alien from Laos, a registered sex offender, convicted of sex offense against a child, including fondling and failure to register as a sex offender. This individual was walking the streets of Minneapolis just yesterday. This individual right here. It's very...
And a bunch of crazy, deranged white liberals cried and protested over her being removed off the streets that their kids have to walk on. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Interesting that I haven't seen this individual or many others like him reported on very much by the local news media or the state news media. That's interesting.
No, they'll just report a fucking retarded protester who gets too aggressive with ICE to where ICE has to confront them and arrest them or warn them. And then they'll spin that to ICE is attacking citizens and then just ignore all the actual fucking terrible people that they're actually targeting.
Wait, let's don't quit there. No, you can't. Let's
Get
continue.
him, Bovino.
We've got Samuel Aravelo Hernandez, a illegal alien from Guatemala, charged with rape and lewd or lascivious acts with a minor. Now, think about that for just a second. Rape, and then on top of that, lewd and lascivious acts with a minor. This individual was walking the streets of Minneapolis with impunity just yesterday. Let's don't quit there. Let's keep on there. We've got Annabelle Gomez, a illegal alien from Honduras, previously arrested for criminal sexual conduct and domestic assault.
And I have heard that they are specifically targeting, because they can't go after everybody, right? You have to target specific types. And what they're targeting are a lot of the sexual fucking deviants, okay? Who have a record of being a sexual deviant. Goodbye. Yeah, but let's go protest. They're Nazis. The Nazis, that's exactly what the Nazis did. They went into Belgium and then they removed all the pedophiles of those fucking Nazis. Really? That's what Nazis did? You're doing a great job, Bovino. Keep it up.
Other convictions include disorderly conduct and driving under the influence of liquor. Walking the streets as of yesterday. These
Get
are
out
just
of my country.
3 that I decided to
I'm gonna start talking like that. Get out of my country, boy.
Now, there's a whole stack of them. There's a whole stack of these. As a matter of fact,
You're okay,
when we
Bubbles.
look over the past year at the 10,000 that have been arrested here in Minneapolis and Minnesota, that stack is enormous.
Yeah, but let's ignore that. We just keep ignoring that, right? We're just gonna think about the children. Public pressure continues to mount as millions of Americans demand the arrest of Don Lemon. Guys, it's a week away from my birthday, and Trump could give me the greatest birthday present of all time. You don't have to wait till my birthday. You can do it any time now, Trump. This is my humble request as one of your voters and a humble fucking content creator on the internets. For my birthday, I want to see Don Lemon perp walked. Okay? And I want to see him fucking locked up. And I want to see him cry. I want to see him do an interview from his jail cell where he cries like a little baby. That's what I want for my birthday. Trump, please. Please? So apparently 3 million signatures on change.org. Now that's the kind of change I'm looking for, boys. That's the kind of change I'm looking for. Yes. Change Don Lemon from being a free man to a prisoner. President Trump nukes Don Lemon after Lemon incited a riot on a church in Minnesota. Let's hear what old Trumpy has to say here.
Mental institutions from where they came.
Oh yeah, by the way, he signed an executive order. We're bringing back mental institutions, boys. Okay, if only any of these executive orders actually materialized in the real world, that would be nice. So yes, please. Please, we got a lot of people that need some mental institution help, if you know what I'm saying.
That's all they want to do. They're patriots, and they have to be abused by guys like Don Lemon, who's a loser, lightweight.
Yes.
I saw him the way he walked in that church. It was terrible. I have such respect for that pastor. He was so calm. He was so nice. He was just accosted. What they did in that church was horrible yesterday.
Yes, it was.
Look at it here.
Don Lemon's going to go into jail. He's going to start the gay bloods.
Spocko2181 super chatted $4.99. I want to see him prosecuted with the Klan Act.
Yeah, I think you can get him with both. I think the Klan Act fits, right? You're I forgot the exact wording, but basically you're disrupting somebody's ability to practice their First Amendment. So I think they both fit. Hit them with both. Hit them with the face and then hit them with the KKK Act. Hit them with both. We need to take the book and we need to hit them with it as hard as we can with every fucking thing we can put in there, dude. I say get them with both the Face Act and the KKK Act. And then watch him go to jail. And then in 6 months, he'll start the gay bloods. He'll be running the prison in 6 months. Because, you know, Don's he's a psychopath. He's a type. You put him in prison, he'll be running things in like 6 months. He'll turn all the bloods gay, dude. I mean, I don't know about that. It would be funny, right? CNN, do you believe it was a step too far for protesters to go into a church? Democrat Rep. Adelita Grijalva. I don't. Of course you don't. Of course you don't.
Do you believe it was a step too far for protesters to go into a church?
I don't. I think that when they find out that someone that's supposed to be speaking for the community in church is found out to be an ICE, like a federal agent that is running ICE in their communities, they have the right to go in there. Churches have always been an open door. And from my understanding in the videos that I saw, those protesters were not violent.
So you're encouraging more people to commit a fucking crime and violate the Face Act? You're going to jail next, bitch. You're going to jail next. I don't care. She's got to go. Lock her up. Boom. That's a jail cell door closing on her, in case you don't know. Lock her up, please. She's next.
Do you believe it was a step too far for protesters to go into a church?
She's next. Look, there's a lot of people that need to go to jail. Okay? A lot of people. CNN legal contributor drops a reality bomb on church protesters. You are in trouble. Yeah, I know. I know, right? They're in trouble.
What does the law say about protesting in a church like this?
Yeah, the law says that these protesters are in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
There's a federal statute called FACE, F-A-C-E, that says...
I mean, even this goblin can admit it right now, because she's a goblin. Wasn't she one of the ones I was talking about earlier? Yeah, the glassy-eyed, no sleep. Probably her husband hates her. Her kids hate her. She lives off of fucking Starbucks and fucking fantasy fucking world shit, you know. But yeah, even she has to admit it.
As if you interfere or physically obstruct another person's
the CNN makeup job team, they can do a better job, okay? They're selling her short.
First Amendment right to exercise their freedom of practicing their religion, it is a federal crime. Now, had these protesters stood outside the church, been on the sidewalk, been on the street, they likely would have been protected by their First Amendment right to protest. But you're allowed to protest in a public forum, but that right is not absolute. They crossed the line when they went inside a church. And I think of it almost like, a church is public property. Imagine if protesters went inside a hospital to protest Medicaid or health policy and interrupted treatment of patients. It's really not that different.
What does the law?
So, yeah, I mean, the face law is pretty clear. As people like Keith Ellison trying to pretend like, oh, it only applies to health clinics. Like, no, it doesn't. Read the fucking law. It applies to churches too. It's yeah, and then the KKK Act as well, because you're like intimidating people at church. You know, it's like whose First Amendment right matters more at this point. Like your rights only go as far, until they impede my own fucking rights. Then that's not your right, right? Like it's not your First Amendment right to impede my First Amendment right to worship and go to church. So they're fucked. Hit them with the book. Hit them hard with the book, bro. So hard. Holy crap, the mayor of St. Paul just appeared to excuse the city's church invasion because she thinks it was a deserved retaliation. Okay. you need to go to jail too.
So Attorney General Pam Bondi was in your state today, unexpected, incredibly rare, and she showed up today. Do you know why she did that today? Was there anything that you're hearing? What's your interpretation of this?
You know, I haven't heard specifically as to the reason why she's here, but it's pretty clear that this administration is sending people in to intimidate us, and we will not be intimidated, as the governor said.
So
yeah, you can say that shit from a jail cell.
one of the looming DOJ cases, such that we understand it specifically, seems to be about the protesters who rushed into that church. That was in your city, in St. Paul, on Sunday. They interrupted a service. They said they were there to protest a pastor there who's also a local ICE official. The Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche says whatever it was anti-Christian and it was a crime. Mayor, I'm curious how you see this. Do you think that some of those protesters may have gone beyond their First Amendment rights in going into a church like that and broke the law?
I will say that ICE has led the way in their charge of going on to.
Does she have an accent? Did they elect a fucking Chinese spy? What the fuck are they doing? I mean, I don't know. She sounds like she's kind of hiding her accent, but there's a little bit of an accent there. Did they elect a fucking Chinese spy in St. Paul? Mayor Kaoli Her.
School properties.
I mean, it makes sense, you know. These commies, of course, they love China, you know.
And detaining.
They should just really move to China, but I don't know if China will let them because China actually has border laws. Oh, yeah. Weird, right?
Well, from places that should be just as well kept sacred, and so we responded the exact same way we would have at any place of worship. That our PD came in, and because this is an ongoing investigation, I can't comment more than that. But I would say we would have handled this in any other way, in any other place of worship, the same way.
So I understand what you're saying. Just to be clear, though, at the beginning you were saying, well, they go into schools and sacred places. I mean, is this sort of a situation where if they're doing it, it's okay, then if protesters are doing it, as you see it?
I don't ever believe that it is okay for us to cross the line in which there are spaces in which people have certain rights and freedoms. But I will say that if this government wants us to obey rule of law, that they also need to follow that as well. And that they cannot.
So yeah, stop enforcing the actual law, or we're going to keep harassing Christians in churches. That's what it sounds like to me.
Expect residents who are feeling terrorized and sieged to be operating under any different circumstances or any different rules than they are operating in.
So President Trump today was asked then about what ICE is doing in your state.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. What are we doing? What are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing? I'm not with them. I'm a journalist. Yeah, here's Don Lemon. This is an interview he does. I didn't see this one before, but it's pretty eye-opening.
I'm a Christian here that wants to praise the Lord with my son, and now I got to go home. I'm sorry that you guys are so angry.
I'm just chronicling. I'm not with the group.
Oh, sure you're not, bro.
What do I have to say?
Can you understand why they're angry?
I don't understand any of this because I'm a simple man.
I'll help you. They're deranged fucking lunatics. Okay, and they're communists too. So yeah, and some of them believe in complete fantasy, and then the other ones make up the fantasy for the other ones to believe to rile them up. And that's why we need mental asylums.
Simple man who loves the Lord and is a good father. So this is what we look forward to, is coming, being with our family and praising Jesus, and that's not something that we have to run away from. So this is kind of a bad day for us. But we're going to heaven, so that's the best news we got.
Do you understand that some of these folks feel voiceless?
I don't understand because right now I'm so upset right now. I don't really have I'm thirsty and I can't think very.
What does that mean? Some of these people feel voiceless? Don't you feel bad? They don't have a voice. Oh, really? They don't? They don't? Like 80+% of the fucking mainstream media is their voice. Don, you're their fucking voice, Don.
Clearly. So what I want to do is just say we love you. Yeah. My son and I love you guys.
Yeah.
And
I'm a journalist. They're activists.
The simplest thing we can say is that we love you guys.
What do you mean, you guys?
Well, holy shit. See, this was Don. I mean, I swear to God, if Don could have took this down in a way to make this guy look like a fucking racist, he would have done that, because I think that's what this was him attempting to do. What do you mean, you guys? What, you talk about black people? What, you talking about, you don't like black people? I guarantee Don never fucking ever fails to at least attempt to make people look racist. It's all he's got.
Activists.
The simplest thing we can say is that we love you guys.
What do you mean, you guys?
Well,
so here's a Christian espouting love to his enemies. This guy might not know it, but you're literally talking to Satan himself right in front of you right now. And doing the Christian thing and being like, I love you. I love you guys. And then Don's like, what do you mean by you guys? Are you some kind of racist? And then later, Don does basically label all of these people at this church as white supremacists. You're a wicked, wicked man, Don.
Oh, whoever's here in this house.
Okay.
We don't distinguish between
you don't mean black
Christian
people, right?
and non-Christian. We love everyone. We
What do you think about black people? What do you think if your daughter married a black guy? What would you think about that?
want everyone to come to heaven.
Yeah.
We want people to go to heaven.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. We want folks to go to heaven. And if we need to talk about these things, then, I mean, this isn't the time for that, really. I mean...
But don't you think until we go to heaven, if you believe in that there should be some sort of peace here on earth? And
well, I don't think you're going to heaven, Don. I mean, just my humble opinion, because heaven has a border. And they have a checkpoint. And I think when you get to that border checkpoint to get into heaven, they're going to be like, sorry, no, not today, Don.
that people should have agency and we shouldn't be beating people up off the street, and we should be abiding by the Constitution?
I think that's just a little bit loaded for me right now. What you're doing.
Why so?
Well, I don't want to interview right now. I don't want to interview. I just want to tell you guys I love you. I don't need to interview right now because I want to be with my son. It's Sunday. It's time for rest and for renewal.
Where are they? Like in this car, just like right on the corner. Where?
And I would like to answer your question, but I just can't right now.
Okay. Don tried. And then later, after you were so nice to Don, he called you a white supremacist. No, he didn't call him specifically, but he basically, if you saw yesterday's show, that's what it always turns into that. Well, they're all white supremacists anyway. Megyn Kelly unloads on Don Lemon. Let's see what old Megan has to say.
I want everyone in jail. I want all of them arrested.
You are a fake Christian.
This is the red line. And
oh yeah, that guy's been getting harassed. Now he's all mad because people are following him and harassing him. That guy was the most deranged of all of them.
They've crossed it.
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful.
Don Lemon lectured half of the parishioners about how they really had an obligation to sit there and fucking take it.
These are resistance protesters. They're planning an operation that we're going to follow them on.
Some people are too dumb to be allowed to do the news.
There's a Constitution and the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
He's too dumb and doesn't know shit.
He's not dumb though, Megan. He's not fucking dumb. He's a snake in the grass. He's using his intelligence, his Machiavellian fucking teachings, whatever. He thinks he's some high-level thinker that's fooling everybody. He's not dumb.
About the law or the U.S. Constitution.
People here don't like it, but protests are not comfortable.
Has no fucking clue what he is saying to that pastor there. You're going to learn the hard way, sir, how wrong you are.
Look, he's hugging his kid. I just imagine it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. That's what protesting is about.
You're too stupid to understand the law, but this one also happens to be illegal. You know how it's illegal to harass people, to show up at the abortion clinic? You're not allowed to do that.
At CyberTwitch super chatted $1.99. If everyone is in jail, wouldn't no one be in jail?
I guess we just need bigger jails, bro. Well, it wouldn't be everyone, CyberTwitch. You wouldn't be in jail, bro. It would, I'd honestly just be happy if we just arrested the politicians. That would make me happy. I mean, just make some examples. Maybe you can't arrest everybody, but just make some fucking examples and let them know, like, hey, there are consequences to your actions. Yeah, I get your point. Thank you for the super chat, guys. If you're supporting the show, links are in the description. If you want to join the conversation, super chats are nice. They help to fund the show. This is a crowd-funded show, so much appreciated. Thank you, CyberTwitch. But yeah, I mean, not everybody, bro. Just the criminals. Just the leftist fucking insurrectionists, bro.
Well, guess what? that same law also applies to places of worship. There are some very limited, but this is one of them, limits on your First Amendment rights. This is the line beyond which we cannot allow them to cross. I don't care if it takes the National Guard, if it takes all of Pam Bondi's DOJ, if it takes President Trump personally making a visit to this church. I don't care what has to be done, but this is the red line and they've crossed it.
A good point. By Beer Belly God 1511. Nice name, brother. Don's being a snake, just like Megan was with Alex Jones and Sandy Hook. Good point. I will never fully trust Megan. Because all of this whole fucking based ass clip could all be a grift. A lot of these people, I think Candace Owens is one of these people who, her whole conservative era, she was conservative black chick. I don't think she believed in any of that. I think that was all a grift. And it's a lot of that from these people. And then, you know, Megyn Kelly, she's proven that she will sell out for some fucking giant paycheck and completely fuck people over. So you can't trust people like that. Texas attorney says forcefully entering a church building while individuals are worshiping to protest is against the law. That does not fall under First Amendment protections.
Forcefully entering a church building while individuals are worshiping to protest is against the law. That does not fall under the First Amendment protections. That is a private assembly. And even though they welcome the public, it still remains a private assembly. You can't do that. But then again, Don Lemon knows that. He knows that very well. He has spent enough time in the media world and in the professional world to know that you can't do something like that. But my question is, why are we trying to argue law with these people? Why are we trying to go back and forth about what is lawful and what is not? We're talking to people who are willingly putting themselves in harm's way to protect people who are violent offenders and who came into this country illegally. We're talking about people who are against law enforcement. Why are we talking about law in the first place? These people don't care about the law, and they will continue to break the law unless they are met with the law. And therein lies our problem. Our problem is that the law is not being enforced. Our problem is that these individuals are able to get away with what they're getting away with because those who are in power are not enforcing the laws on the books.
Yeah, and that's a prime material for an insurrection act. That's what the Insurrection Act is there for, bro. It's in the fucking wording. You know? I think we're going to end up being very disappointed with Trump. Because it's like, if he ain't done it yet, are you ever going to do it? I don't know. I don't think he is.
I guarantee you.
I think he's too terrified of what the door that might open, because then all of a sudden these lunatics in fucking Minnesota might actually start grabbing guns and actually start shooting, and it might turn into an actual shooting war the moment that fucking you bring in the big boys to get control of the city. But I don't know. I still want it. I still want the Insurrection Act.
You start arresting people in mass. I guarantee you start enforcing the laws that are on the books, these protesters are going to get real silent. There's a reason why they don't do stuff like this here in Texas.
Amen.
Because we won't stand for it. Because the
God bless Texas, baby.
Laws will be enforced. And there's a reason why they do it in Minneapolis, because, well, we all know who rules there.
God bless Texas, bro. God bless Texas. I don't know. Somebody was saying, who is this? Texas attorney. He's a Texas attorney. I don't think it gives his name. Yeah, but if you guys mention it, Candace, it's so funny how things work. I mean, I've seen this become a trend now where with Candace, it's happened many times before, where I talk about something and I bring my point of view, whether right or wrong. Usually I'm right. Okay, that's just facts. And I get attacked so fucking hard for it. And then you just fast forward a couple weeks and then everybody's like on your side. It's like everybody forgot how much they fucking hated you because you attacked Candace Owens. No, I just called her out for being a retard, and I knew everybody would eventually figure it out too. And God bless you guys for figuring it out, Don Lemon arrives in Minnesota to fix things, and he goes, okay, so this is Warren Smith made a video about this. And since it's a slow news day, I figured we'd watch it. I like this Warren Smith guy. Let's see what his coverage is. This is him. This is all about Don Lemon's trip to that church.
Do this. I can't see anything on that side. That's okay, I got it. Just park. Just hit park.
Just what we need. Don Lemon showing up on the scene in Minneapolis and inserting himself in the middle of a church with a group of protesters shutting down the service.
If you guys are here, make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Let's see what our folks over on Twitch are doing. Twitch, we're back.
Don Lemon's essentially just your basic fucking live streaming dude now. Hey, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Come on, hit the thumbs up while I go break the law.
Sunday morning church. Yeah, okay, we'll see.
He follows a group of protesters into a church. I don't know who thought this was a good idea.
After we do this operation, you'll see it live and use these operations as surprise operations. Again, I can't tell you where they're going. Okay, so I am going inside now. Where's my phone? I need my phone.
This is only going to make things worse. This is crazy footage.
Hey, Meta, record. So activists are now in the church.
So we're hearing the hands up, don't shoot, same as the BLM protests.
This is what the First Amendment is about the freedom to protest. I'm sure people here don't like it, but
this is the most damning clip from Don, to be honest.
Protests are not comfortable.
But your freedoms cannot impede the constitutional freedoms of others, and freedom of religion is one of those. This doesn't make sense.
That's hilarious. Like, subscribe, and buy my merch. Now watch me storm this church. That's a good one, El Jefe.
I can't believe I'm even saying these words. You can't invade a church.
And there are people here I'm looking at a young man who's in the corner. He's frightened, he's scared, he's crying. People are leaving church.
Don Lemon seems happy about this, the fact that someone's cowering in the corner, scared of the mob.
One of the members who looks to be really upset, a young person, the pastor is trying to calm him down over there. Perhaps they should come in, pray together, and talk together. But anyways.
Does it look like they are willing to come in and pray and talk?
If I were the pastor, I would offer a prayer. I would try to calm things down and say, listen, talk to you. We're all citizens. We're all believers and Christians.
You think
it's all the pastor's fault? If I was the pastor, yeah, you're not. Shut the fuck up, you fucking idiot.
All believers.
What's up, Cybertwitch?
Cybertwitch super chatted $1.99.
Yeah.
Can't you hear how voiceless they all are?
Yeah, dude, it would be nice if they were voiceless. I wouldn't have to listen to their fucking nonstop yelling and screaming over fucking made up bullshit, dude. Country would be a lot better if they actually were voiceless.
How could you possibly know that? It's such a silly claim.
I don't know if everybody is, but everybody's a human being. Let's work together and talk about these things.
So what do you think is going to lead to more dialogue?
The whole fucking cope now is like, oh, we were invited in. It's a church. Everybody's welcome, they said. Yeah, okay. You were not invited in. You were actually asked to leave and then didn't leave. So there is a trespassing thing there, but also definitely a violation of the FACE Act. So all of them need to go to jail. Every single one of them.
Mentality that you're participating in?
It may look like MAGA coded, but there's a reason they have so many white people here. I'm just going to be honest. It's because of the operation that they're doing today. It's important to have allies, as they said, white allies here.
And there's an interesting clip of him grouping up with these protesters, and this guy asks him, which team are you on? He actually uses the word team. And of course, we know which team Don Lemon's on. He loves this game.
This is a white supremacist agenda.
Why do you say that?
Fuck off.
No, me, dude. I'm not here.
Whose team are you on?
Come on, man.
Don Lemon.
This is Don Lemon.
All right, man.
All right. Well, no.
Sorry, brother. I'm so sorry.
Like, really?
No, I'm so sorry.
He's on our team.
Yeah. So why do you say that?
He's on our team, so treat him like a real human being.
And there is a member of the church who's willing to talk to Don Lemon.
Church?
What's that?
You're a member of the church?
I do.
How do you feel about this?
I don't necessarily agree with everything that's going on in the Twin Cities right now, but I don't think it's good to fight fire with fire. I think it's good to speak.
So you don't agree with actually removing illegals who have committed sexual crimes and are preying on the population? You don't agree with that? Stand up for something, dude.
Speak up.
They're so afraid of the mob that they can't even speak common sense shit. Like, yeah, you know what? It actually is good to get fucking criminals off the street. Grow some balls, dude.
It's good to protest, but I think it's better to do it in a peaceful way. I don't think the answer is going into God's church.
You don't think this is peaceful?
You're shutting down a church service by shouting people down.
Well, it's trespassing.
Nobody fighting.
It's as peaceful as the peaceful fires that broke out in 2020.
Passing.
He just doesn't contend with the trespassing point at all.
How would you feel if I went to your house and I started yelling?
It depends on what I did.
It depends on what I did. You would never tolerate someone coming into your house.
There's a lot of yelling in my house growing up. We still loved each other.
Yeah, but...
You can see it on his face. He's just like, yeah, okay, but you really think this is okay? This is the worst part, the way he is trying to justify all of this.
That doesn't necessarily mean that yelling is the answer, right?
I'm sorry?
That doesn't necessarily mean yelling is the answer, right?
No, but I think that's the way you work things out, is that you talk to each other, you disagree. Sometimes it's heated, sometimes it's not.
Let's look at this other clip.
So I can just have an issue with Don, and I can decide to just storm Don's private residence, and he's going to have a conversation with me to talk it out, or is he going to call the police and I'll probably get shot by a security? Let's be real, Don.
And you tell me if this is not just blatant yelling.
You're living real life, nice lives with your lattes.
This is fucking woke Duncan Trussell.
Doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You come here to a man wearing a suit. Is a preacher? Did Jesus wear a suit? Did Jesus profit off the words?
I think maybe...
See, this is why we always lose the arguments in the debates with these people, because we usually come from the side of like good faith, like honest debates where we're trying to actually like be fair and speak truth. And they're coming from the anything goes side, like whatever I gotta do, if I gotta pretend I'm a Christian and fucking, take on a viewpoint that I actually don't agree with, but it will help me. I mean, like, it's impossible. That's why, like, when it comes to debating and having arguments and discussions with people that are not coming to the table with good faith, it's a complete waste of fucking time.
The pastor would like try to calm things down and say, let's all talk together and make this peaceful and not be so us against them.
Don, how would the pastor do that when everyone is yelling? Why are you putting the onus on the pastor to stop all of this when you were the ones who walked in?
I think that it's good to talk, but then why don't we do that, right?
Yeah.
I don't think trespassing, I think protesting on the streets is fine, but I think there's a difference between that and then going into someone's property and then yelling.
How do you feel about allegedly, according to the protesters here, there's a member of ICE who is a pastor here or is a member of the clergy?
Oh, so that's the real justice.
Essentially, you have a Nazi is part of your clergy. So you're a Nazi church. So you have no protection because you're a Nazi church. Essentially, that's what they're saying.
For all of this, a member of the clergy is part-time.
What's up, El Jefe? Thank you for the 20, brother.
At L_Yefa-67 super chatted $20. If Don isn't held accountable for this, I guarantee we will see more and more of this degeneracy.
I agree, man. It's like what we've seen with the Mad Maxers. Like if they would have nipped that in the bud, like fucking 6 months ago, we probably wouldn't be seeing it anymore. You would have made an example early on. But when you just talk big, you talk big on the internet, but there's no repercussions for these people. They're just going to keep pushing it to the next level and the next level and the next level. I'm just saying, why don't we fucking do something now and stop this shit before it gets
At Rusty
way worse?
Shackelford
What's up, Rusty?
6060 super chatted $5. Chris Chuns are boozies. This happens because they allow it, because they tolerate it.
Yeah, I mean, Christians will take a lot of abuse. That's part of one of the things about the message of Christ is like, turn the other cheek. There's holiness and suffering and be the bigger person. It's like at a certain point, like we need to bring back the fucking Crusades, dude. we got to stop allowing ourselves to be made victims. And I'm not a practicing Christian, but I was raised a Catholic. I spent many of Sundays at Mass. I was forced to go as a kid. So I identify as Christian, even though I'm not practicing. Kind of like Jews that identify as Jewish, but they're not like practicing Judaism. But yeah, I do identify as a Christian, and I believe we need to maybe not allow ourselves to be walked on all the time. and not stand up for ourselves. And maybe this is something that will help kind of, for lack of a better word, awaken. I was going to say radicalize, but let's say awaken the Christian community to some of the bullshit going on. But most of them are probably too busy falling for the emotional arguments from the left, from their stupid woke friends who are like, oh, but Jesus would never do this. And you're like, oh, you're right. Jesus wouldn't do this. I imagine that's what's going on. And thank you. Thank you for the big 20, El Jefe, you rock. And thank you, Rusty, for the 5. Much appreciated, guys.
Or something.
Allegedly, I don't know. That's what they say.
Okay, well, I would say before just ramming into a church, maybe it'd be good to get some more information first.
He gets into a debate with the pastor.
Our church had gathered for worship, which we do every Sunday, and we were interrupted by this group of protesters. Yeah. We asked them to leave, and they obviously have not left.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine if this was an Islamic gathering, and you had a group of white people come in shouting them down and shutting it down, saying shame on you.
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
Okay, but listen, we live there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Yeah. Freedom of...
Don is such a fucking idiot, but he speaks with such authority. Like he knows what he's talking about. Oh, but don't you know there's a First Amendment right to... Don, what you just did was you just violated their First Amendment right. Don, that's what just happened here. Okay? And God, I hope he goes to jail.
Religion
Please.
is one of those.
I don't know why he's bringing up the First Amendment.
Please, Lord. Come on. Give us what we want. Don Lemon in jail, please. Amen. Thank you.
It has nothing to do with private property.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here.
That pussy, dude. This shit. That one pisses me off every time. Please don't push me. He's such a fake, fucking lying piece of shit. There was no push. Like, there's no push at all. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think earlier, we saw the interview where he's trying to make it racist. And now he's trying to make it like this guy's getting like aggressive and pushing him, and he's not even fucking pushing him.
Private property.
Let's watch it again.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
I mean, if that was a push, that was the most softest push ever. He might have like gave him a look. Like, you know how sometimes somebody's in your space and you're talking to them, and you want to like move or you want them to move, so you just kind of give them a little pressure in the direction you want them to go to be like heads up, and then they'll kind of turn and start moving. Maybe that was what he did. Because he was like, okay, I'm not here for an interview and let's move now. I don't know. But I did not see a push there, dude. Sounds like Don is trying to just make up some shit on the spot.
We're here.
Did you see a push anywhere?
No.
I mean, Don Lemon is just fishing.
Look at Don Lemon leaning in. He's leaning back.
You walk into the church and then tell them, oh, please don't get too close. And the pastor asked Don Lemon point blank to leave, and he doesn't.
That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
No one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to
trespassing as well.
Freeman 3 super chatted $5 because Don believes he has the moral high ground. Yuri Bezmenov strikes again.
Yeah, Don is a piece of shit, bro. He's a piece of shit. But yeah, we should hit him with trespassing as well. So we have violation of the FACE Act, violation of the KKK Act, and also trespassing. Because he's asked to leave, he refuses to leave. I don't know, man. That's 3 offenses. I'm sure we can find some more to hit him with, right? Right, Framing? I mean, we should hit him with everything in the book.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
There's something about Don Lemon that just especially rubs me the wrong way.
Me too, dude.
So I'm just going to be as respectful as possible. I'm not here to intimidate anybody.
He's just fishing for content. That's all he cares about here.
Do you mind if we talk to you? No. What do you think of this? I thought you said no.
What I'll tell you is that there are varying arrays of views on the political situation here. That's what I'll tell you.
What do you mean by that?
I'm going to leave it at that. But
what he means is there are people in there who might have supported you and backed your cause, who you have now just revealed yourself to them to be fucking insane, who even though they might technically agree, will not support you and probably not vote for you. And maybe this will send them down their journey of understanding what is actually going on and who is the real danger. Okay? That's what he's saying, Don.
There's a varying array of views in this church on politics of immigration. Right. You recognize the complexity of the issue.
Many people are going to hear him say that and claim that this justifies everything that you're seeing, because there's varying arrays of views on this topic.
Some people don't like what's happening, some people like it.
I'm not going to reduce it to that. I won't reduce it that simply, but we acknowledge the complexity of the situation.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you talking to me.
And apparently there is an investigation going on, and Don Lemon chronicling this is going to help with that investigation, but this is going to make everything worse.
I'm surprised that law enforcement has not showed up yet.
Holy shit, Don. I don't think he understands Minnesota. They're busy answering 911 calls from deranged middle-aged women because they saw a rental vehicle and it might be ICE. I saw another thing where, like, the companies that are renting out these vehicles to ICE, they're kind of freaked out because what's happening is they're creating a database, these ICE watchers. They're creating a database of all the license plates, and license plates of their rental vehicles are showing up as confirmed ICE. So whoever rents that car next, it could be like a literal like family of 4 with like 2 fucking toddlers. And they're going to fucking get harassed because they have a license plate that shows that they're confirmed ICE when it's just a fucking rental car's license plate. That's going to be good, right? Like, you go to Minnesota to visit your dying grandma and you rent a car and your kids are in there and all of a sudden you have a mob surrounding you. Are you ICE? Are you ICE? Say fuck ICE. Say it right now or we're going to beat your ass. Say fuck ICE. And the little 5-year-old's like, hey, fuck ICE. Okay, little bitch. All right, that's what I thought.
I'm going to take you outside of the church. What do you think of this?
There's a harmless Christian here that wants to praise the Lord with my son, and now I got to go home.
Yeah, that was interesting to watch. This guy here, look, he's hugging his kid. And, you know, I imagine it's uncomfortable and traumatic for...
Yeah, it was interesting to watch us go in there and traumatize families and make them feel like they're in danger at the place where they should feel the most safest, which is at church. Crazy. And this guy was the worst one. The far-left radical who screamed at men, women, and children after storming a Minnesota church now claims to be the victim. Oh, shit. Who saw that coming? Did you see that coming? Oh, let's see what the vote is. What are you guys voting? What's the vote over here? 90% to 10% with 136 votes. Does Don Lemon need to go to jail? Yes is winning overwhelmingly at 90%. I have the most based audience. You guys are the best. You guys know what's up.
I mean, what we're seeing around this country is they're using their political influence to attack people that disagree with them. They're going to come at me with charges, and I'm not scared of that. There's no base for these charges. I did not block them from, their...
No, I just went in there and screamed in their faces during church and completely shut down the entire ceremony and violated the FACE Act and the KKK Act and trespassed. So, yeah, off to jail.
Service.
Off to jail, buddy.
They welcomed us in. They never asked us to leave. The police never came in and removed.
They asked you to leave. What are you talking about? They 100% asked you to leave. It's on video. They welcomed you in. They did not welcome me in. You stormed the fucking place, dude.
Moved us, so we didn't stop their service.
Yeah, he is. He's fucking woke mind virus Duncan Trussell. This is what would happen to Duncan Trussell if he had a crack addiction and got infected with the woke mind virus.
Bad people were still praying the entire time. The music was still playing the entire time. So, Pam Bondi, you want to come and arrest me? You want to come and give me charges?
Come get him, Pam. Do something right for once, Pam. You can never do anything right, and here's your opportunity. God has handed you a gift to do something that people will go, holy shit, Pam Bondi did something. I don't know, maybe she's not that bad after all. Fucking act, Pam. Okay? Get off your fucking ass. Or Trump needs to fire her.
So
she needs to go.
And for all the people giving me death threats, threatening my life, Kill me. Go ahead, kill me. Because you know what? As Fred Hampton said, you can kill the revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution.
All right, so this commie's willing to die for the cause. Okay. No one's going to kill you, retard. We just want to see you go to jail and face consequences for your unlawful behavior. Breaking, this video has gone viral after a Minnesota student stood up for ICE agents after his unhinged leftist teachers smeared them as murderers. Yeah, it looks like Gen Z is turning out pretty based. You know, as a kid, you do kind of like, I can see the kids basically not falling for their bullshit. I can see that, and I hope that's the case.
Should have been to go like this if he was really afraid. Your job as a police officer is to de-escalate.
Split second.
No, he had no.
Yeah.
I wonder if this kid's been watching my show, because that's what it's like. Yeah, you guys are fucking Monday morning quarterbacking, like, oh, you should have did this, should have done that. He has a split second, and he has a vehicle heading right at him, and he's having flashbacks of 6 months ago when he got hit by an illegal and dragged for hundreds of feet and had to go through all kinds of fucking treatments and rehab. He's got a split second to make that decision. And again, it's people keep saying you're celebrating. This is one of these fucking retards in my comment section who likes to who's got ping derangement syndrome. It's like, oh, you're celebrating. I have not once celebrated her death. Okay? Not lying and speaking the truth that she is the one responsible for the sequence of events that led to her death. Ultimately, she is responsible, and all the leftist pieces of shit that polluted her mind to think that she could do something like that, and she wasn't putting her life and the life of the community in danger by doing that, they're all at fault. That's not celebrating it. Like, if you guys want to debate me about shit, stop making shit up out of thin fucking air, dude. All right, sorry, we'll get back to this.
No.
Right now. What are you, you're arguing right
Because watch the video. He was not in
Just
danger.
because you're yelling doesn't mean you're winning.
He was not a date, okay. Oh, dude.
In an argument, just because you're yelling doesn't mean you're winning.
Get him.
Guys.
This is a problem with school, dude. There's too many times where, like, the responsibility of teaching our next generation falls on these dumb fucking mentally ill bitches. I had some good female teachers who were great, but I also had some mentally ill fucking lunatics who made my life miserable and every kid that had to deal with them. And, yeah, I don't know, man. We need to fix our school system. It's become too indoctrinated into this left-wing bullshit, dude.
Yeah, just because you're alive doesn't mean you are intelligent.
It sucks that she got shot, but it's a split. You have a split second.
Yeah.
And they're not leaving us on.
You're gonna take that? She's fucking stupid.
Can you admit she's fucking stupid? I love it, dude. This is a good class. I would definitely be in this classroom getting in trouble. I would already have been fucking sent to the principal's office. Should we do this one tonight, or we'll maybe save this one tomorrow? The whole fucking controversy with Nick Shirley and Andrew from Channel 5. Andrew finally did a response. It's kind of lame, by the way. It's just it's all attacking Nick. It's like, oh, we had to edit it because Nick is such a retard and he's so boring that if I didn't edit, it would have been nobody would have wanted to watch it. And it's like, no, dude, people would have watched it. Like, the fuck are you talking about? It's all cope, dude. It's all cope. We'll save this one for tomorrow because maybe there'll be some more updates. Maybe Nick will respond. We'll have a little more back and forth with this. But yeah, it's almost 2 hours. I'll hang out with you guys for a little bit. We'll chat. What do you guys want to chat about? How's everybody doing in the chat? Let me get it back into this. What's up, everybody? I watched this. It was yeah, the Andrew Callahan response. Yeah, it basically was like, well, I had to edit it because he's so stupid that I had to make him look better. Like, he's so retarded. I had to go in and fix it up. And it's like, it's all excuses, dude, and ignoring the actual issue at the heart of it, which is like, you sat there agreeing with them and then you edited out the part where you agreed with them, because like that's the biggest takeaway, is that Andrew is too afraid of his audience to actually speak his mind. So when he agrees with something that a conservative says, he has to edit it out because he can't allow his audience to hear that because they will turn on him. That's the biggest takeaway. But yeah, I had to edit it because Nick Shirley's a retard and people wouldn't have watched for that. Okay. Okay, dude. He had to edit himself agreeing with him out. Exactly, Spocko. He's terrified of his fucking audience, dude. He's a terrified little bitch boy. Just released. Yeah, the full interview was released. Nick Shirley did release the full interview. Will you be doing a show on your birthday? Yeah, most likely. Most likely. Yeah, I've done birthday shows before. So I don't know. It's a day I'll be doing a show, and I don't really go party or anything. So I'll probably be doing a show. Well, I'm not guaranteeing it right now, but yeah, good likelihood I'll be doing a show. How are you doing, Pink Trip? I'm doing good, half baked bearded. How are you doing, brother? How you doing? Physical therapy has helped. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Apophis, did you have some sort of injury or something? I missed the beginning. What your thing is here. Sunshine Angel 713. Nice name. I like your show. Mainly I have to listen because I'm usually driving. Well, how does it sound in the car? The audio good? Is it booming? Am I booming through your speakers right now? Yeah, however you enjoy the show. That's awesome. You know? Share it with your friends. Tell them how fun the show is. Help the show get out there because yeah, it's pulling teeth getting YouTube to share it out. So plus, and then I piss off so many of my subscribers because I speak my mind and they don't agree with me. It's one of the trickiest things of doing a show like this is like people will love you until you disagree with them. Like I could talk about 4 topics and like if you agree with me for the first 3 topics, you'll be like Pink Trip's so cool. And then the 4th topic, I have a different opinion and it all flips and everybody hates me. And yeah, so it's difficult. It's difficult. Some asshole sold me a broken PS2 controller on eBay. Oh man, you just reminded me of memories. I had a black friend of mine steal my PS2. I let him borrow it. I had 2 PS2s, okay? This is important. I had 2 PlayStation 2s. One of them quit working. The other one, I had 2. One worked, one didn't work, essentially. And I let him borrow it. And then he didn't want to give it back. So I had to go over and talk to his mom. And his mom gave me back my shit. And then like a couple days later, I went over. He knew I was out of my apartment. And I fucked up and I left my apartment open. And the dude broke into my apartment. I mean, he didn't have to break in. He just walked in. I wasn't far. Like, the reason I left the door because I wasn't far. But it was my mistake. I should have left the door open. Walked in, stole my PlayStation. And then tried to replace it with my broken one like I wouldn't notice. I don't know why. You're bringing back memories.
$5. Be awesome, ping.
What's up, Redonk? I will try my best to be awesome, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But yeah, I mean, look, dude, try not to live up to stereotypes, you know? Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to steal people's PlayStations, okay? Try to be better, all right? That's all I'm saying. Ping got bullied. I didn't get bullied. I got fucking robbed, dude. I got robbed. Oh, no, he wasn't bullying me. He was just ignoring me. Every time I tried to reach out to him to get my shit back. I mean, we were friendly. Like, we were cool dudes. I mean, we were like, friendly, you know what I mean? So it came out of nowhere. And it was just like, you realize some people are just like shady fucking thieves, dude, who will act nice and friendly to you to your face for weeks on end. But then the moment they have an opportunity to fuck you over, they're going to take it. There's a lot of nasty people out there in this world, bro. But yeah, he didn't bully me. I could have whooped the dude's ass. I mean, he wasn't much bigger than me. Yeah, I was 18. I think the dude was like 16. If I remember right, I was a couple years older than him. Do a drive-by for my PS2. do a drive-by. Yeah, get involved in gang activity to get my PS2 back. Oh shit. Yeah, fun times. I think it even might have been a PlayStation 1. This was a long time ago. Steal it back and leave watermelon in its place. That would be wrong. That'd be so wrong, MFG. I mean, that actually would be kind of nice because watermelon's great. Like, I mean, that would be a nice way to do it. Leave him a little watermelon tree. I would love it. I love watermelon. Who doesn't like watermelon?
Adele_Yeffa-67 super chatted $10. Great stream as always.
Thank you, Jefe.
Keep speaking the truth. It will pay off eventually.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I'm going into year 2 of doing the show on a regular basis. I've always done the streams, but they were never really regular. They were like, on occasion I'd jump on and do a live stream. Now I've been doing them regularly, like 4 a week. And I did it basically almost all of last year. And now this is going into year 2. So I would like to see some growth over last year, but I know I can't get my hopes up because it's a very difficult road ahead to have this thing grow to grow it all. First time I play, and thank you for the $10, LFA. I hope you're doing good, brother. Justice for PlayStation. Yeah. We got you, Ping. We here. All right, bro. We rolling out. We rolling out tonight. Go get. I don't know what happened to this dude. This was a long fucking time ago. This was like 1999 or 2000. Like, this is a long fucking time ago, bro. So it might have been a PS1. I think it was a PlayStation 1. Make sure to hit the like, fellas. Yeah. Good call, LFA. Yeah. Smash the thumbs up, guys. Thank you for coming out. Links are in the description. I'll be here tomorrow. I'm going to do as many episodes as I can this week. So yeah, look out for the show, 9 p.m. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed, that's helpful. And hit the bell. Join the Discord if you want to get guaranteed notifications before I go live. Discord's the best place to get that. Yeah, all that stuff. And leave a comment, all that stuff. Much love. Pineapple is better? No way, bro. There's no way pineapple is better. If you're saying pineapple is better than watermelon, you're fucking insane, dude. I don't know. Pineapple is not better than... I mean, pineapple ain't bad, but it's nowhere as good as water. Like a perfectly ripe watermelon that's like just perfect. Not one of those like where you get the wrong watermelon and it's flavorless. No, but like one that's like fully flavored. A fully flavored watermelon, perfectly ripe, is so fucking good, dude. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, right? Pink Trip, you're right, John. Good call, buddy. How you doing, John? Hope you're doing good. Pull Ping's dick cord? What? Jesus Christ, Buddhist. What are we doing here? My dick cord? Jesus Christ, dude. What are we talking about? Good night, Ping. Good night, Dante. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for coming to the show. Pineapple needs to go with other foods. Yeah, I'm not a big pineapple guy. Even with other shit, like I don't even like. I don't know. Something about pineapple kind of puts me off, dude. Much love, gang. Yeah, much love for 20 Dope Throne. Apophis 100. Pineapple is like chewing hemp rope. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Pineapple will like kind of fuck up your like the roof of your mouth and shit. It's too rough. Too rough. Watermelon's the way to go, bro. Look, I'm sorry, but watermelon is greater than pineapple. Okay, and we all have our own unique tastes and shit. So for you, if pineapple is better than watermelon for you, well, that's valid. But you're an oddball, okay? That's not normal. Not normal to have taste buds like that, okay? Much love, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you. If you can, smash thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff. And we'll see you back here in the Pingdom tomorrow, guys. We'll be back for another show tomorrow, and we'll be talking about whatever the fuck is going on tomorrow. We'll see. Hopefully it'll be a bunch of arrests. That's what I'm hoping for, a bunch of arrests. Much love, guys. Yeah, pineapple eats you. You don't eat pineapple. Pineapple eats you. Good one, MFG. See you guys tomorrow, man. Y'all have a wonderful night, okay? Much love.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.